with Jay. And today I have Libby from A Blessing But Cursed, my glorious project lead. And she's an animator as well as the project lead on A Blessing But Cursed. And how you doing? How you doing, Lib?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine.
You doing fine? That's awesome,
Yeah,
man. I'm glad to hear it. So, I I'm really happy to have you on. And one of the major reasons is because I just talked and did an interview with Sammy not too long ago. It couldn't have been more than I think a few weeks ago. And that's getting ready to be debuted on Spotify and YouTube as we speak. We're just getting branding figured out for that. But I have you today, and before I wasn't sure on how much I could actually discuss with you about A Blessing But Cursed. But before we get to that, I kind of want you to answer this question for me. Well, I mean, I imagine you knew that, but I really wanted to know how you got into animation to begin with. I mean, I know it comes from drawing, but how'd you get into animation in the first place? Like, what led you to it?
okay. So there was a thing a while back, especially when it comes to the old type of old creators from 2D animation on YouTube. Um, I will admit this. I am a giant Five Nights at Freddy geek. I will pretty much let you know all the things I know about Five Nights at Freddy's, and the one thing that really got my attention was the fact that there was people online on YouTube creating animations of their fan-made Five Nights at Freddy characters that they did. And I was like,
Okay.
I looked at this one person who was a German animator with her own character. I'm not saying the name because I'm pretty sure this creator stopped doing art and animation altogether.
Oh, okay.
But what I can describe this person's character was basically, I think, a gray cat animatronic that she made. And
That's
it was a
wacky.
2D animation. And I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So it took me forever to find one app that pretty much all the animators back then used, which was Flip a Clip. And it was my main one for a good while. I would say up probably at least 3, maybe 4 years
Jesus.
before I switched over to computer animating software. My first one was Fire Alpaca because that was the only one I could technically afford because it was free.
Okay.
And then later on, I went into um, which is Flash micro. Um, I forgot what it's called, but it was like Microchromia Flash something.
Okay.
And I used to use that for a while. And then I kind of went back and forth um with another software, and I I tested out my ability with the trial version of Adobe Animate for a good while.
Okay,
But
so you went from I believe it was a cell phone. I don't remember what it was called. I know you just said it, but I'm not an animator, so I wouldn't know these things. But you went from I believe it was an application off your phone, and then you moved
yeah,
into full PC animation. Okay, okay,
yeah. And then now I'm currently using Toon Boom as my main animation software.
okay. That's awesome. Now I've heard of Toon Boom. I just don't know the differences between it. How long you been animating?
I've been animating for at least 6, 7 years. All my
Jesus
animation
God.
is pretty much self-taught.
That's crazy. So how so going from the bottom of learning about animation and being self-taught and all this, I mean, how did you really learn for any aspiring animators out there who might have a want to do it? Like was it YouTube videos or
Uh,
tutorials?
Yeah, YouTube videos, tutorials. Same thing about how to draw proper bodies, because that was the one thing back then I was really bad at. Um, but I'm kind of happy that I did start with drawing like especially like Five Nights at Freddy characters first because it does show you where all the joints are, especially when you're trying to draw robots. So that did help me quite a bit.
So, in a way, having your first experience with drawing and art and trying to figure out skeletal systems and all these things and making the frame, the skeletal frame for the animation for everything to move and have those connecting pieces. It's Five Nights at Freddy. I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed.
Yeah, um, I was pretty much into like the pretty much the big fandoms back then, which was Five Nights at Freddy's, Undertale. There was a time where I was into Frambo, like a
What
lot of like
what
old stuff.
in the
Like
shit is Frambo? I missed I haven't really subscribed to any of the really popular fandoms out there. I'm just way too busy. I barely have time to consume anything. I'm just too busy. I just don't got time for it. So I mean, like, what is it? Frambo? What the hell is that?
okay, so Frambo is this type of horror game of this little like I think she's like a 10-year-old girl who's in a like a weird like hospital asylum thing for
What?
all the children
What the fuck?
or
What the
um
fuck?
yeah um who was originally part of this asylum because she was seeing things, but in reality, it's just I don't know like the true like reasoning behind everything, but it just seems like a little kid with her imaginations. But then she meets so many crazy and wacky creatures all along the way, and that she had this weird devil goat following her.
Devil goat.
Yep.
Why is it always little kids and demons? Oh my god. That's so freaky. I mean, how
I,
far do these rabbit holes go?
there was a time where she fed um yeast. I think that's what it's called. The stuff that makes flour that makes bread rise. I
Yeah,
don't
yeast.
remember. Yeah. Uh to a frog. And then the frog grew
What?
10 times bigger, and then she was able to swim across the ocean with her little black cat,
I
named Mr. Midnight, who was protecting her the whole entire time.
I don't think I don't think I have the creative imagination necessary to even conceive something like that. That's so nuts. That's so crazy. I love it. That's so awesome. You
And
feed
it
it.
was kind
Get over here,
of
Froggy. Time to rise, bitch. Like, oh my god.
yeah, and like during that whole entire story, it does sounds like a child imagination, and at the same time, you're like, well, wait, now she entered into this world of reality because like apparently there was 7 layers of reality,
7 layers.
and
What? That's awesome.
yeah, and then this game even created its own language for one of the realities that she was in, and you had to figure out the language that they were trying to speak.
This is a game? Or that's
Yep,
just a
this is
fan. Oh, it's a legit game.
as a
Oh
game.
my god.
Yeah, this is a legit
Jesus.
game,
I think the
and
only. How the hell does someone even find something like that? Like, how do you
I
even
don't know.
like just drop in and discover these bizarre, weird ass games that are so enthralling and captivating?
You know, not gonna lie, this is most of all these games that I have experience from, or like at least being in the fandom of. It's just something that I'm just like a little bit from like taken from each game that I'm putting into a blessing but curse because there's so many inspirations from different parts of the game where I'm just like of each game where I'm just like, yeah, I feel like this will fit in my story. Little inspiration right there.
That's fantastic. So, okay, before we get into a blessing but curse, because I know you have a lot to say on that, because I wasn't able to talk about it to the extent that I wanted to with Sammy, because, like I said before, we really didn't know what you were okay with, what information you were good with coming out, and I figured that if you say it, then it's okay. Um, when it came to animation, did working with things and these fandoms and having inspiration from it, did it help you in the creative drive to continue making animation, or is this just something that was in your mind and you knew you wanted to do it after you caught wind of some of these projects and things you liked and saw?
Always wanted to do animation, especially from a very young age, because there was this one. cartoon show that I absolutely loved, and I was actually heartbroken when I found out that one of the original voice actors from died like at least like 5 years back.
Oh
I'm pretty
God.
sure the other one has. I'm pretty sure the other one has died as well. I'm not 100% sure,
Oh, rest in peace.
but it was Curse the Cowardly Dog. That has
I
been my all-time favorite cartoon.
can you go into this a little bit because I don't know what it is.
So basically, it's about this little purple dog named Courage, and he is a little scaredy cat when it comes to everything.
Wait a
He lives with
second.
the
Wait, wait,
yeah,
wait, wait. The one on Cartoon Network.
yep,
Oh, never mind. I'm fully
yeah.
aware of what Courage the Cowardly Dog is. I don't know why I thought I didn't. I don't know why it blanked itself out of my memory. Okay, so Courage. So that helped you with animation.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like some of the villains from it too, because it's so wacky and bizarre. And I love Courage as as a character in general, and I love Eustace. I love Muriel, and just some of the stuff is just so like creepy with it, which I love, and like everything about it, I love.
What I remember from Courage the Cowardly Dog was I think it was this one episode where something was trying to take over the family and it was up to Courage to somehow fight it away. Or that other episode that I don't know if people remember that I saw one time was I think Courage had to, I don't know, I think he had to fight the devil or something. I don't quite remember. What I remember is that Courage the Cowardly Dog, I don't know what planet they're on, but it's definitely not Earth. Because anytime they opened a door, it was just this weird landscape, and I just couldn't make sense of it.
Well, that's because you live in the middle of nowhere, and then like everything happens in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, that actually, that's really intelligent. That's 100% true. In the middle of nowhere, everything fucked up happens. Are we sure that's happening on planet Earth?
Probably, most definitely.
Oh my goodness, I highly doubt that. I mean, sure, if the creators go, yeah, it's Earth, it's just drawn a certain way, sure, but I don't know. I always thought they're on fucking Mars or something, man. It was just the amount of weirdness that just came
No,
out of
because
that show.
they have been abducted by aliens before in the show,
Wait,
twice,
what?
I believe.
They got abducted
Yep,
by aliens
twice.
twice.
One, one, one. This I know this one was before the other one, but the first one was from this one alien stealing Muriel's kindness to make her a complete bitch,
That's insane.
and and then Courage
That's
had to
nuts.
like give it to her back, be like, yeah, here's your kindness back. I stole it back because it was trying to feed it into this giant alien thing. And the second one was these aliens abducted them to feed them, well, to turn them into their species, and then feed them a disease that was taken over their species. So then they can try
What?
to figure out how to cure their species.
Whoa. So there's an episode where they're trying to turn them, Muriel and Eustace, into the alien species to give them a disease.
Yeah, they got the disease, and then Courage got turned into the same alien type of creatures, and then he took the disease and realized that he can't be affected by the disease.
Oh
So
my god.
so because in the episode he turned into this giant watermelon, so he just gave him watermelon juice, being like, "Here you go, here's the cure to the disease."
I never thought for the life of me that Courage the Cowardly Dog had that much depth. And I thought Invader Zim was insane. Jesus, I'm going to have to go back and check out a few episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog on YouTube or something because that show sounds way more wacky than I ever gave it credit for. I think I saw the show maybe twice in my life, and that was about it.
It's been my favorite ever since, and I'm just like, yes. I feel
I'm
like I like the more like, I guess I describe it like more like what's supposed to be more creepier in like cartoons,
I
because
mean, that's a thing because you have shows out there that are comedy based that are technically made for children, but they very much don't appear that way. There's a lot of suspect ass themes that the show creators kind of push. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's okay to have different elements that are kind of scary or whatever in children's cartoons. But is Courage the Cowardly Dog for a kid audience, or is it for more like a teenage audience and young
It
adult?
is for kids. It is
Get the
for
fuck
kids
out of here.
because
That does not sound like a kid show.
um it was it was it I was watching it back when it was originally on Netflix because I knew it
Whoa.
was on Netflix at the time.
I had
So
no
I think
idea it even made it to Netflix. I thought I see. This is how long ago I saw it. I saw it when it was probably in its actual airtime. I just saw it on Cartoon Network.
and the only reason why I knew it was for kids because it was marked in Netflix Kids as a kids cartoon.
That's insane. That's
While there was
insane.
characters, in one of the episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog, there was actually an episode that dedicated itself to Courage saving a cat woman who was getting abused by her dog boyfriend.
What? What?
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. We could sit here and talk about Courage all day. But
Yeah.
a thought occurs to my mind since we're talking about animation, and you've been a fan of animation for pretty much your whole life, and you've always wanted to do it. What's the hardest part about being an animator? Because I'm not an animator. I have no idea. I couldn't do it.
I guess the patience on doing the animation itself. Because you need a lot of patience to do it, and it's easy for me to, and especially motivation too. Because I have stopped doing animation or like certain animated videos all because I just lost motivation and patience for. And especially when it comes to sometimes, because more recently, I was making an animated video for something else. I think it was for Blessing Bug Curse. I was trying to do like a little animatic for it,
Okay.
and then I was getting done near the storyboarding, and then like the file just like when I went to go reopen it the next day, it's just like file corrupted. I was like, what?
Oh. Oh, I
I
know
was like,
that from having
excuse
to
me.
edit. So you lost all that progress and all that time and all that work. It all just was done. Had to start over from scratch,
Yeah,
assumingly.
and then I was planning to start over, and then I'm just like, you know what, I don't feel like the motivation for this.
You know, I can totally get that. I can imagine how you have to have a certain godlike virtue when it comes to patience, especially with something like animation, because you're having to do basically every frame individually. There's no like just fast tracking to where you could do it all in one. It's painstaking. It appears that way.
Yeah, I mean, there is some times where I can reuse certain frames
Sure.
for instance, like the little animatic that I posted in the server itself,
Hmm.
because I posted a little animatic of Zuriel and Devavlo just, and then just Devavlo's just like judging Zuriel a little bit because she started singing one of the SpongeBob songs.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you ever saw that.
I don't know if I had, because I am very Discord stupid, and I'm in a fucking bajillion Discords for voice acting. So most of the time, unless somebody pings me, there's a lot of times I won't see something, and sometimes it's important. So I always kind of try to remind people like, "Hey, ping me. I don't know. I'm in a lot of these things, and I get bajillions of messages, so it's really difficult to sift through them sometimes. But I will go independently back in to a Blessing But Cursed's Discord and check it out because I do want to see him. I am interested in these
I
things.
just sent it to you. I just sent
Oh,
it to you so you can get a
excellent,
chance.
excellent. I'm gonna check it out after we're done recording.
Yeah.
But since we are on the topic of a blessing but cursed, let's talk about it a little bit now. Um, Sammy and I, when I did the interview with her, we didn't say anything. We really didn't. We didn't give off what characters we played. All we talked about was the read we did and how much we liked doing a read together and little things like that. But I have you here. So I would like you to tell me and the audience what a blessing but cursed is for people who don't know.
Okay, so A Blessing by Curse follows the story of this little hybrid. Well, not little. She's a very much an adult woman. Um, named Zuriel, and Zuriel is a hybrid between a angelic being and a demon, and pretty much she gets basically hated on throughout the show due to the fact that she is a hybrid because especially when it comes to the species that she is, because angels like look at her and be like, yeah, you're a demon, we don't really want you. And then same things with the same thing with the demons. They're like, yeah, you're an angel, we don't need this kindness around, and plus we also want your wings. Because
That's that sounds like a person trapped between two worlds and belonging to neither.
yeah, so she just remains in the human realm where she was born at, because I really doubt that Victoria wants to go down and just like popped out a baby and be like, hey, I just had a hybrid kid.
Okay, you just mentioned Victoria. You gotta
Yeah.
explain who Victoria is now to Zuriel.
Vic- yep. Victoria is Zuriel's mother, who we just mentioned that Sammy voice
Yes.
acts.
Yes, the lovely, talented, exceptionally powerful Sammy Puffer. She's awesome. I remember that line read. She fucking blew it out the park. She's incredible.
Yeah, I love, with all three meetings I had with all the voice actors, I loved every little minute of it because I was so excited about like hearing all these characters being put into play, because this thing was because I was working on this for at least like 5 maybe 6 years, so
I
it's
remember
just,
you telling me about that. Yeah.
yeah, so this thing is making me happy.
And now that you're on the subject of it, okay, where did you get the idea to start A Blessing But Cursed? Like, where'd it come from? The origins.
Okay, it originally started off as, I was like, you know what, I want an original character, so I basically took what I took from like different fandoms. As I said, a lot of fandoms
Mm-hmm.
does play into it, and I was just like, you know what, yeah, I combined pretty much all the fandoms together. Zuri was never originally half angel. She was originally a full demon when I first created her. So yeah, there's a fun fact. Zuri was never really half angel.
Okay, so what gave you the decision from keeping Zuriel as a full demon into splitting her and giving her the half angel side? Because that's an interesting choice.
Well, that's because more recently, because so Zuriel, as I mentioned, was never really half angel. But the thing is, she was half cat. Fun fact, she was a part cat. And then when I seen like later on with the gotcha community, because I always watch. I'm being completely honest. I do watch gotcha content every now and then.
Okay, hold on.
But
We got to take a
just
sidebar real quickly. All right. I've
yeah.
done voice acting for one gotcha project, but I still kind of don't know what it is. What is it? You got to clear this up for me because I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, so gotcha. So basically, basically the whole gotcha fandom, or like, or just the thing in general. Okay, so gotcha is basically created by this person named Lumi. It is a RPG dress up game
What?
that you create your own characters and dress them up, and that you create your own stories with those set of characters.
Oh God. Oh God. This is okay. That got weird. Nothing against it. Just okay. That's bizarre.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cringy ones out there too,
Oh, I would
especially since,
imagine.
and especially a lot of like, especially where Lumi had to put a thing in all of his games that he created, basically saying, "Do not make Gotcha Heat." Gotcha Heat is basically
Huh?
children making 18 plus videos.
Oh no. Whoa.
Yep,
All right, internet, calm down. The fuck?
Lumi had to put that in his game, and then also make sure that that these kids are old enough to play his game, which is basically 11 and older. And he had to make a post being like, please do not make any more of this type of content
I mean,
in his game.
yeah, you're gonna have to when you make a game for a certain age demographic, and you got people who are not the age required to even create material like that, not safe for work, NSF dub, things like that. Yeah, I mean, it's only sensible that a creator of a certain type of whatever it may be, animation style, game, whatever have you, they do have to put out a warning. They do have to tell people that it's in their best interest to do so. Imagine if Homeboy stayed silent. I don't think that would have went down well. Having all these underage kids making fucking 18 plus content. I don't think it works that way.
No, it really doesn't. It's really awful. And I'm just like, and it's the whole reason why I pushed myself away from it, especially since I've seen a lot of people do the same exact thing about how they created characters like Zuriel where they're like, oh yeah, I am this wolf hybrid demon thing. And I'm just like, nah. Sorry, Zuriel, you're
Ooh.
getting change. You ain't being that.
Nah, I get you. I get you. Okay, so thank you explaining to me what the hell gotcha stuff actually is. I had no idea. But if we shift over to a blessing but cursed. So Zuriel is a half angel, half demon, and we talked about the changes and why that happened. So you've been working on this for a long time. Now, did you originally have this in your mind as just written work that you're going to keep it as? When did it go from writing to becoming an animated property?
To be honest, I actually did attempt to do a like basically just a regular, just like animated story
Hmm.
without voice actors and stuff of this whole thing. It was actually a completely different story with
Oh,
Zuriel finding the entrance to hell. And then to be honest, she actually had a different mom than Victoria originally.
wait, who was Victoria's? Can you even talk about that? Who was Victoria's original mom? I'm curious
No,
now.
no, no. No, Zuriel's mom was not originally Victoria.
Oh,
It
oh,
was
okay, okay. I'm with you.
it was with a different character named Roxy.
Oh, all right. That's interesting. I don't know.
Um
I can't picture anybody else's mom. I can't picture anybody else but Victoria being Zuriel's mom. And ever since I heard Sammy do the reading, I mean, I just got her voice stuck in my head as far as that character goes. 200%.
so Zuriel was originally going around basically learning everything about hell. And then this is where it just came in. So I never made Lucifer or any of his brothers or even his son as characters.
Wait,
So
so the character that I play wasn't even intended to be a character.
yeah, he was just playing to be like, oh yeah, we just know about Lucifer, but we're just not
That's
talking to him.
that's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you decided to make him a character. I love playing. That's who I play, by the way. Everybody, I play the devil. I'm Lucifer. How did you make that decision to go from Lucifer is something that is simply mentioned to we're going to flesh Lucifer out and make him a character in the show, in the animation?
It was just due to the fact that I feel like, you know what, I feel like Lucifer actually needs to be looked at. Like if I'm planning to like put him in the background or like in like paintings or something, I feel like he has to be a character that we're supposed to be looking at least. So I did eventually give Lucifer his own design. Um,
I've seen
he
the
does look a
design.
he actually looked a lot more different than he did now.
Really?
Especially he the best way to put it, Lucifer actually looked a lot more younger than what he does now.
I don't think I would have got the role if he looked younger. I don't know. You probably would have went for a different, younger sounding voice. That's
No, no, no.
interesting.
I would have went for the same voice.
Oh, oh, well, thank you. I'm glad because okay. For a little clarification, and I might get in trouble for from Libby over here, but Lucifer is just he's very much a hardcore alcoholic, and he's
I don't mind that.
okay. I can reveal that Lucifer is a hardcore alcoholic. He's very nihilistic. He's very dismissive, and he's a douchebag. Oh my god, he is a fucking asshole. He really is. He's bad tempered. He's foul. Oh man. I love playing him. It was so strange. I read the script and I was going over the lines, and I remember being in this call with Libby and Sammy when we were doing the soft read, and I was going, and Libby was describing the character, and I'm going, oh, awesome. And the more details I got, I'm going, okay, he's an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic, by the way, but he was an alcoholic, and he has substance abuse issues, and he's kind of a little too arrogant, and I'm going, oh, so I don't even have to act. I can just be me, and it's I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I was
Yeah,
really
I don't know.
happy. I know, right? But I was really happy that I could just I was the I was you hired me for the job. It's a fun role to play. I love being able to dive into Lucifer and to know that he was just simply going to be mentioned in the background like this ominous harbinger. I'm really happy that he's getting fleshed out more and he's getting a little bit of screen time because the guy is interesting and I don't know how you could do the show without him.
Yeah, because now with the more racist story, Lucifer does play a very big part in the story itself. Especially more later on, if I do, if this thing does become popular and I'm able to actually do more episodes, because me and Jenny are actually pre-planning more episodes for later on if this does start blowing up,
How many
which
episodes? How many episodes were you and Jenny thinking about releasing, as it currently stands? How many you guys? How many do you have in the works that you're thinking about putting out?
there's a lot because with the amount of story that I have and I want the story to be well known
Mm-hmm.
and then not feel like it was rushed. To give you an idea, we have 3 seasons planned.
Oh Jesus, good fucking tap dancing, Christ! Oh my God, I'm gonna be working on this project for a while. That's awesome. I like that. I like the sound of that. I do have a
So
question
right,
though. I do have a
yes.
question. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to ask this before it runs out of my mind. Where, why did you decide on the heaven and hell slant? There's more about this story that I haven't mentioned. I know, but it's up to Libby to disclose it. But where did the theme with heaven and hell really come from? How come you chose to go that direction and add it into the story? Because you could have gone anywhere with it during the concept stages.
I just kind of do the fact that like I had so many people like around me, especially when it comes to how I used to look. A lot of people thought sad thing is I will mention to this now. I am a biological female, but I am very much but since I look a lot like my father, like
Mm-hmm.
very much alike, there was a time where I actually had this like weird, like almost shaved off head haircut type of thing. And a
Oh,
lot of people
okay.
back then thought I was a guy, or at least a trans guy. I was like,
Okay.
No, I know. So I would get the rare like pitch of like the whole thing with Jesus and stuff. I'm like, uh huh, and still to this day, and since now I grew out my hair and became semi normal now,
Semi normal.
I still I still have people come up to me or at least tell me that they thought I was a hardcore lesbian.
I mean,
They thought
I get that comparison to an extent because the shaved head and all that kind of stuff and your look itself is a little more leaning toward the alt gothic side of things anyway. I don't know what you looked like back then, but all I have is the current version of you now and I'm going, yeah, I can understand how someone might mistake you for one.
no, because I have been told by a lot of people, including Derry herself, especially from the way that I
Oh,
either
Derry.
act, from either the way I act or n- and then from what I look like, a lot of people thought I was a very masculine lesbian. And I'm just
I
like, due to the fact that I this is because I am very independent
mm-hmm.
and I tend to do things a lot by myself because there's a lot of guys who I'm around who can't really pick up things that are at least 50 pounds or over.
That's so sad. Guys, what are you doing? Get under a fucking go to a gym, start deadlifting. What's wrong with you?
And I'm
Good
just like,
God.
no, because there was even a time where, like, back then when I worked at McDonald's, that I came in with because I overextended my knee the one day, and then I came in like a few days later, wearing like a little like knee brace. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was still pretty much able to walk, but I just didn't want to put too much pressure on my knee.
Oh, I understand.
And and but since there's so many skinny guys working at that McDonald's, but a lot are bigger females. They pretty much had all the females do a lot of heavy lifting because all the
That's
guys are
so
so
weird.
skinny.
That's so weird. I just I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. That's so
Yeah,
confusing for me to even understand because I'm very much a part of gym culture. I strength train and do martial arts and all this. I can lift a lot. I'm strong. I that's just what it is. I'm a strong guy, and I go to to leave something like heavy lifting to a chick. I don't have anything against it. It's just I go, no, I'm the guy. I'll do it. Let me do it. I got you. It's just so different. That's got to be upsetting slightly for a chick, because I mean, if you're a chick and you can't even look toward the dude to lift something heavy for you at work, allegedly, it's just like, come on, man. The fuck do you do all day? Like, I don't know. That's just weird to
no,
me.
no, because because the one day I was carrying one of the pickle buckets for work, and we did an estimated guess that, or at least we all looked from what we did research. These pickle buckets do weigh at least 50 to 55 pounds each, from both liquids and pickles that are in it. Probably even more, really depending,
Sure.
because these are like giant 5 gallons
Sure.
of
I've
pickles.
worked I've worked I've worked other jobs before I became an actor and a voiceover guy. I remember I worked at a Subway, and you're absolutely right. Those things are they're kind of heavy, but I mean it's only 55 pounds. It's not that much weight. You could lift it,
Yeah, and
or you would think.
since no, because the thing is, I would normally carry it in one arm. Like I rarely have to carry it with both hands. I can just carry it with one,
Right.
and and then I have a new hire who works at a deli tried to take it from me, being like, he's like, he's like, "Do you need help? Do you need help?" I'm like, "No. Like, why would I need help?"
That's hilarious. You you're walking. I remember you told me about this. How you got so strong on one side that became a dominant side, and you're. I remember we were talking about this, and you're going, "I got to start putting in the other arm, just so I can even out the strength."
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's so bonkers. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we're getting off track.
a blessing but cursed. A blessing but cursed. So we talked about Lucifer. We've talked about Victoria a little bit. We talked about Zuriel. What and Jenny and Derry a little bit. Shout out to both of you. Love you. Um, what gave you the idea to move this? Oh, can I even talk about it? What gave you the whole slant between Victoria and Zuriel? And I'm talking about the age difference. Are you willing to talk about that a little bit, or
I
are we
can't
keeping
really
that
disclose
secret?
too much because I kind of want to keep that like a secret till one of
Okay.
the more later episodes.
Okay. So, if there's anything that you can bring up in addition to giving a little more light on a blessing but cursed, what would it be?
Uh, I guess probably due to the fact that there's going to be one thing that I'm going to be mentioning now is
Mhm.
the fact that is all the seven deadly sins of brothers. Well, technically six deadly sins because Satan is Lucifer's son.
Oh my
They
God.
are all related. They are all technically brothers. That's one thing I am going to mention
Okay.
because all the brothers are different races. You got Belphegor and you got Asmodeus being the twin brothers, but they are black. You got Beelzebub who is Hispanic. You got Lucifer being and Satan being white. Um um God who am I forgetting? Mammon's being Italian. Um I don't remember why I made Leviathan. I was kind of joking at the fact with Derry about making him Korean for K-pop reasons, but I'm not 100% sure with that one. So
Oh God. Oh God, that's awesome. You just got Leviathan. He's just a member of BTS. He's fucking butter. Like Jesus God.
Yeah,
That's
but
amazing. I
but
love
yeah,
it.
it is canon that all those 7 people are related.
How are they
They
related? Can you talk about that?
I can
Oh, good.
because so what I planned because all the 6 brothers are related by God. God is their father, but God is
Oh,
not canonically to be anything. He's planned to be just like this giant thing of light.
okay.
So the show basically to show so then there's like no like hatred towards like any race. Because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be hated by be like people being like, oh yeah, why is this person black in hell? I'm just like,
Because
no,
that's the character.
yeah, that's the character, and if it
It's
makes
kind
you
of
feel any
simple.
better, it just also shows that I have no hatred towards any race. That all the races that I could put for the 7 brothers, well, the 6 brothers
Mhm.
are they are related.
Look,
They're all they all biologically brothers.
okay. Well, I can understand why you might have maybe a little reservation about certain things, but at the end of the day, dude, it's animated. It's a show. This this
Yeah,
this isn't this is a show. These are characters. This isn't a reflection of how I feel about certain things. I think it's weird that we've gotten to a place in time to where you, a project lead, a creator, an animator, wants to make something, and then you have to sit there and second guess yourself simply because of somebody else's opinion. And it's just an opinion. I mean, yeah, but it's your show. I don't know. I would always kind of go with the mentality of make what you want because people are going to say
well,
what they're going to say anyway.
yeah. And plus, I was still gonna make them related anyway because it was just like the fact that I consider brothers, and I want them to be more biological brothers due to the fact I don't want people shipping them together.
What the hell does that mean? Shipping.
That means that means I'm putting them into relationships.
Oh. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's not do that. I don't know. Okay. There's been a weird thing with incestuous stuff in so much media, and I don't understand it. I have no idea why everybody wants people to be with people in that way. It's kind of bizarre. I
Yeah,
just don't get it. I'm very
yeah.
happy
So
that you're not going in that direction.
yeah, because I was just like, ooh, like I don't want people like shipping, especially when they're calling themselves brothers, like because they originally weren't supposed to be biological, but then I was like, yeah, I don't want people shipping you guys with each other.
I don't,
So
yeah, no, no. What is wrong with people? Stop that. Internet, calm down. Stop shipping biologically related family members into the arms of the other. That's weird. You're contributing to a bad problem. People are going to start thinking that's okay. It leads to genetic deformity. Stop it. Stop it. You right now, animating some weird incestuous shit. Knock it off. Knock it off. Go make something different. Draw a fox with a rabbit. I don't know. Something different. Good God. Good God. Well, I'm happy to know that there's going to be no incestuous behavior in A Blessing But Cursed. God. Is there anything. Hmm. Is there anything you can tell us about my character in particular, Lucifer? Because I'm a part of this show, and I am absolutely kind of yes, I'm absolutely sifting for details about my character because I do want to know more.
okay, so I will say this, Lucifer, he will become more of a better dad later on when it comes to Satan.
Oh, marvelous.
'Cause- So he will become more of a better dad. To the fact that he originally just started drinking was because of his ex-wife leaving him.
Oh, can we talk about that?
Along, I can talk about that
Oh,
because I
excellent.
also
That's yes.
so okay. So in the original story, from what I'm changing up to fit my story, is especially when it comes to like the since some of it is from some of the original scriptures as well. Lucifer and Lilith, I they were supposed to be together, like technically, because in the original like writings back then, Lucifer and Lilith were technically husband and wife. But since I kind of wanted to bring myself away from being compared to other shows who does the exact same thing,
Mm-hmm.
So technically, in my show, Lucifer and Lilith are both siblings. Lucifer is the eldest brother between all the siblings, and Lilith is the baby of out of all the siblings. And at, after Lilith got turned into a human by God to help with the project of humans and stuff, and
Hmm.
then she get killed because she doesn't want to lay beneath Adam. Lucifer, I'm also changing it so it's not an apple; it is a star fruit.
I'm so happy you went with starfruit. I'm so happy you went with starfruit. I remember we were talking about this during the soft read, and you were still a little undecided. I think you had a direction you were going in, but
Yeah. It was just kind of due to the fact that Lucifer is also known as the morning star, so it does make a lot more sense if
that's
it was a
so
star
great.
fruit.
That's so great. I'm so happy it just wasn't a traditional apple. And that's something else. How do you come to make decisions about shifting the very kind of like understood, tried and true aspects of the Christian rather version of heaven and hell? Like, because you are making changes to it. Yeah, I know Lucifer's last name is Morningstar. Yeah, I know, but I mean, there's differences.
That is just due to the fact that, like, for instance, like, it never said it was an apple. That was more added on later on. It never said it was an apple. It was just the forbidden fruit of knowledge.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
technically, it could be anything.
That's true. I wonder why people made it an apple. I have no idea. Maybe it was just a common fruit back in the day when people were painting on murals. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I was like, well, it doesn't have to be an exact apple. Especially since, again, since I'm trying to break away from many other creators, a lot of creators use apples, especially when it comes to referring to Lucifer. And
No.
I was like, you know what? He doesn't get an apple. Now he gets a star fruit.
Ah, just look, me and my star fruit and my wine and my and my hatred for my terrible son. I'm
Terrible
glad to
edgy
know.
teenage son.
Yes, I'm glad to know that Lucifer does become a better dad. I I am just very uncertain if Lucifer's better dad behavior is going to be of any impact to Satan. I think the kid's a little far too gone.
Yeah.
I guess better late than never. I guess that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. At least he's trying.
Yeah, at least now he's trying. The relationship will take forever for those two to mend. But at
Oh.
least but the one thing I will make canon that is well not will make canon, but has been forever canon,
Hmm.
that if anything happens to Satan, Hell is pretty much in despair because Lucifer will literally kill anyone just trying to find his son.
Okay.
And that will be going into all different types of worlds.
Okay, but you know what? When I hear that, for all Lucifer's flaws, if he's about to go, I don't know, scorch the earth of hell if something happens to his kid, I mean, look, that's still a pretty powerful thought. It's still a pretty powerful statement considering the kid stubs his toe and he fucking destroys a million people. It's like, oh God, fuck, protect that kid, Jesus.
Yeah, Satan is the most protected kid in all of hell, but also the most like I guess the best way to describe it, not met. It's not really okay. It will be considered underneath abuse
Oh
because
God.
Lucifer is not giving him attention and
So
stuff.
negligence, neglected.
Yeah, negligent. Yeah,
Why does
but
this? Why
Lucifer,
does?
but hmm?
Why does he sound like a combination between Joffrey and Game of Thrones and Adam Sandler's Little Nicky? It's so bizarre. It's so cool.
but but yeah, Lucifer will become more of a better dad more later on because this is when he's gonna be stopped drinking. So it's the alcohol.
I it's the substance.
The
Lucifer's
substance.
problems are because he has substance abuse issues. Oh,
But yeah, back to the story from what I was
of
explaining.
course.
So after the angels killed Lilith, Lucifer fed Eve uh, um the fruit of forbidden knowledge, aka star fruit. That's when Lilith got cast down to hell because she fell for the talking snake, Lucifer,
Oh, that damn
and
serpent.
and then the whole war between Hell broke loose. Well, not Hell, but like all the angels who were on Lilith's side, be like, yeah, she didn't fucking deserve that. And then all the angels on God's side were like, she had one job.
That's so crazy. That's so fucking crazy because I remember from one of our first discussions about A Blessing But Curse when I came in to do reads and just conversations we've had about the show. There's a lot in this show. I mean, I can understand why you haven't mapped out for at least 3 seasons. I mean, this is going to be going on for at least 3 to 4, like 3 to 5 years. I mean, this is a long project. I'm really happy to hear that. So, how do you determine what gets put in certain episodes? Because I know you have a writer and I know you oversee the writing, you oversee animation. You're juggling 50 different hats. But when it comes to the writing in particular, how do you decide what to put in? Because you know where the story's going.
So it's basically just timing at this point. So there's a lot to Zuriel that needs to be unraveled, especially since there will be at least 3 different times where she will have people hate her. Well, no, where she gains the love of people, and then end up hating her, and then she has to rebuild up that relationship, and then they find out another secret about her that caused them to be like, "Why are you keeping this a secret? Like, I thought you promised to stop
Okay.
keeping secrets."
Okay. See, this is what I found so attractive about this project. It was one of those things where it's not just a story about heaven and hell and demons and angels. Sure, that's the setting and the backdrop, but I mean at the end of it, this is really a drama. A lot of things about redemption and second chances and trying to repair things and a lot of bonding through traumatic things going on and and I'm not going to talk about who it happens to, but there's a lot of death. It's a very grim, dark story. And at the end of it, I go, yeah, there's a heaven and hell setting, but this is really just a drama. And it's a really good drama. Like, did you know instinctively that this was going to be a drama when you started writing it? Or was this something that kind of progressed over time?
It honestly just progressed over time due to the fact that I kept adding more characters that would probably help with the story over time. Because originally, the original story was not. It's a lot more different than what it was now. So Zuriel's original story for my original version of this project
Mm-hmm.
was the fact that there was a character who was named Discord, and Discord might appear in the show, because Discord is Melashiga's little brother.
Oh, okay.
So, so the demon who is supposed to be Zuriel's best friend, and also the Queen of Pride. I will mention that. And as I mentioned to Jay before, the way that I describe the hierarchy in hell is, think about it as the British Empire. You
Oh,
got
the royal family. Oh, God.
for the show, for the main attractions, you got the royal families, but then you got your higher ups who are higher than those royal families.
That's so appropriate. That's so appropriate. I know any UK listeners are probably going to tilt their nose up and go, oh my God, Jay, you fucking American. But I'd be like, yeah, there's nothing more evil than the British royal family. Oh, those criminals. Oh my goodness. Do your history, folks. You'll see. It's a nightmare out here.
Oh
But
God,
when when can we expect the first episode, the pilot, to be aired? Because I'm
that
sure
is
people are
something
wondering.
I'm still unsure about, because since since now I gotta save them, because I want to make sure all my voice actors get paid first,
Of course.
because they're the ones who deserve it the most. And then I gotta figure out how about animation more later on, because it's either I try to do the animation myself, which is probably gonna be taking a lot more longer, or I hire a team, which is probably gonna be expensive, especially since this animation will probably be at least like 25 to like 30 minutes long.
You just answered another question I was about to follow up with. I was going to ask how long these were going to be, the episodes. So 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30. Yeah, that could be a little bit. That absolutely could. Even if you're hiring independent animators, like rates are, even on the low end, you're still looking at a decent chunk of change.
Yeah, especially since especially when it came to like the voice actors and the like especially when it came to the voice actors, I had Zuriel actually went through like not really went through, but I had at least 3 different people in mind for Zuriel.
Really?
Yeah. The first person, since I later on rechanged Zuriel, so I told her that I couldn't have her as a voice actor no more for Zuriel,
Mm-hmm.
and she got mad about it. And I was like, I mean,
I mean, but
what do you
like
want me to do?
that happens. I can't. I've been passed up for projects or something changes and I'm no longer needed. I'm not going to get mad. Dude, you can't get mad. If the vision changes and the production says, "Well, we don't need you, we'll let you go," it's just, that's what it is. It's what it is, man. Especially a project like this, which is really coming from a place of passion, and it's not like you're going over to Paramount and they're flying you out there to go audition for network heads, and then they go, "Oh, we changed our minds, but here we're gonna pay you for the time that you spent on set." Da 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 da. It's not one of those situations. This is indie. This is lower budget.
Yeah, especially since like I'm being completely honest, I this is before like even the pilot got finished. So she hasn't even done anything where like I had to pay her anything.
Oh, okay. So this is just somebody who got upset because they lost a job before anything
Yeah.
even happened yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. Come on, actors. Come on. It's all right. Look, if you don't get a project, or if you book a job, you get hired on, and then something changes, just go back to auditioning. NSA, never stop auditioning. Actors, just keep going. Keep moving forward.
And then I had another person who, to be honest, Muse was the last person who I accepted for Zuriel because there was someone who was actually pretty much in the same type of range as what she can do, but it was just best way to describe it. It was more closer to Zuriel, but Muse was the second most closest to Zuriel.
Okay, so you're talking about the voice that you had in your head when you're thinking
Yeah,
about what this character sounds like.
yeah. And so I contacted this person first before Muse, and the I told her beforehand that I cannot go any higher. The way that I had everything rated, or like pay rate wise, was set in stone. And then she kept trying to like push me paying her more, and then try to use her status as being like, I voice act for a lot of these different type of like things. Like I even did commercials. Like like I want a higher pay rate. I was like, well, I mean, since we can't really see eye to eye, especially since I already told you the flat out rate beforehand, and then I don't need you.
I look, I can. Okay, I'm on the other side of this. All right, I understand from the actor perspective of wanting a higher pay rate. Of course, I understand that. Of course, actors, anybody working anywhere wants to make as much money as they can. However, I talked about this a second ago. It's a matter of scale. What size is the project? What is the project's budget? What type of project this is? And this might be advice for people who want to get into voice acting or be project leads. Clearly disclose what you're able to pay, like Libby did, because if you tell them what the max payout you can do, and they're sitting here trying to get more money on you, and then they're trying to do this weird thing where they want to use status, don't deal with that. I wouldn't deal with it personally because that's just a negotiation, and it fell flat.
And then, to be honest, when I finally got Muse, I told her pay rates before. I told her my pay rates beforehand, and I guess she also read the description that I was also a 19-year-old animator,
Yeah.
and
Hence,
she's
read
like,
descriptions, people. She's a kid. You got to understand what budgets they're working in. But I mean, you were just talking about pay disputes and this contract negotiations. And when the latest choice for Zuriel came through and she read the description stating that you're a kid and you're very young and new in your career as far as being a project lead in animation. It's one of those things where, once again, you have to, for actors who are looking at work, especially if you're looking at independent work. You have to understand the scale and the budget of the production itself. You can't having unrealistic expectations will get you nowhere. It just will. You're not going to go forward if you can't be realistic about what the project is.
I actually found the conversation I had with Muse. So if you want me to read that aloud a little bit.
That is not up to me. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
I mean,
I don't know if we should be disclosing private conversations. I don't know if the other actor will be okay with that.
I mean, it's pretty. Yeah. Also, she sent me a new recording for today too, so when I get a chance later, I gotta go through that as well.
Did she send a new recording?
Yeah, she's doing everything by since obviously main cast Zuriel, love my girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing from different scenes, and since there's 11 different scenes.
Oh yeah, a lot of screen time.
Yeah, a lot of screen time.
Yeah,
and she's in pretty much every single one of them besides one.
100%. I remember reading that script and I was looking. I'm going, okay. There's a couple characters that got predominant amounts of screen time, and I'm looking at it just from an actor perspective, going, oh okay, oh that's interesting. Holy shit, Zuriel and Victoria got a lot of lines. Oh god, they're gonna love that. And I'm sitting here going, oh okay, I'm at the end. Wow, Lucifer's a fucking depressed man. He is unhappy.
Yeah, so there's a lot when it comes to these characters. We know which characters need more screen time, especially when it comes to different plot points in episodes.
I mean, have you guys considered doing character specific episodes? Maybe not for every episode. Oh, you have?
Yeah. So there's gonna be I don't mind spoiling this a little bit.
Okay.
So hold on, I gotta go look at what episode it's on.
All right.
I'm not gonna spill the whole plot of it.
No. You gotta leave it for the final. Let them watch the show.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta find which episode it is.
Of course.
Okay. So quick thing. We're planning to have 16 episodes per season.
Jesus, that's amazing.
So we're doing like season 1A, season 1B, and then so forth later on.
Okay.
So season 1B, episode 9, is called Hellflower. And this is when we get to meet
Hellflower.
And this is when we get to meet all the other characters. aka the 7 Deadly Sin brothers.
No shipping. Knock it off.
No shipping.
Don't do it. Okay, now that we've said it, the people are gonna do it.
Yeah.
Gross.
So, I don't mind spilling a little bit.
Okay.
Because again, I don't know how much popularity that this thing's going to get, but the small thing is there's this type of hellflower. Best way to describe it, it's like one of those carnivorous plants in hell. And what it does is it attacks its victim with a poisoned vine. And it's like, so think of like a rose vine, and it wraps around your neck, and and put poison in it.
Oh no! Oh God!
And Zuriel got attacked by this said vine, but the small chance that this person is able to escape, they get really deathly ill. And
it poisoned you too?
Yep.
Oh, that's so tentacly. That's so creepy.
And so Victoria is trying to convince all the 7 Deadly Sin brothers. Well, not really. Well, Lucifer has 2 of these, because one's for Satan, and he does not want to give this little teenage thing something that he could parade it through school with.
This show gets crazier every second you speak about it. I mean, when I first signed on to this project, I knew it was going to be interesting, but Jesus, now we got basically like poison tentacles coming out, like poison tentacle plants coming out and attacking people. What the fuck? What?
There's another episode, which I don't again, some of these I don't mind sharing because these
Check
are
out Hellflower. Ooh, that's gonna be a fun one.
um that's for episode 9, and we are still doing the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we do have a birthday episode to reveal Zuriel's real age.
What? Wow. Okay. I did not expect that. I figured Zuriel's age would be mentioned in a scene or might have a dedicated shot that's, for it. I didn't think it would be this highlighted episode. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because there's going to be flashbacks of why she's so the way she is.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm with you.
Um, there's actually an episode dedicated, or at least a scene where we plan to dedicate Zuriel getting an emotional pet, an emotional support pet, because she really needs emotional support
I
through
was so
everything.
I was so confused for a second. I went, "Wait, she's getting an emotional pet?" And I was kind of wondering what that was. And then you said emotional support animal. I'm going, "Oh, okay, okay. I'm aware of what those are." All right,
which
I'm with you.
is which I am planning to do because it was technically her original type of pet from her original story,
Oh, okay.
which was a manticore.
A manticore.
Yep. And
How provocative.
how?
I just wouldn't. A manticore. That's unique. I don't
Yeah,
think I've
hell
worked on
has a
one
lot of creatures.
project. Right, clearly. I don't think I've worked on a single project in the last year that's even had a manticore. None of it. Wow. Okay. I'm with
But
that.
so my original story with the manticores for they were originally given to the royal families in hell, but now I'm making them more like an endangered species of hell because people normally because the demons down there normally like kill them for their tails because they have scorpion tails
I'm
and they
just
had
thinking of Fallout now and the rad scorpion tails, just those big stingers of death. Oh, brutal.
but Zuriel instead of like in the original story for her a while back getting one basically as her protector animal, which I mean it still technically is in this future one because emotional support pet
I
still
like
technically
that.
protecting.
I kind of like that. That's kind of awesome. Oh
Instead
my
of being an
god.
adult one, it is a cub, so she does get a little cub.
Okay,
So
so
basically like a little
so
cat.
okay, so a cute, cuddly little thing that can kill you and poison you. Okay, I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm with
yeah.
that. I totally like it. All right, Libby. Before we get out of here, thank you very much for taking this time to talk about A Blessing But Cursed. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait for the next scripts. I really can't. Where can people find you? And if they want to, where can they find out more about A Blessing But Cursed?
Okay, so I have two Instagrams. One dedicated to Blessing But Curse, and then the other one is my main personal Instagram. Um, you can go. My main personal one is Yin Yang Alike, and then the other one is A Blessing But Curse. The same thing on Twitter or X, which is also A Blessing But Curse. Um, especially since we're planning to post more on Twitter, especially when it comes to upcoming shorts that I'm planning to do.
Oh, I love it.
Especially since I might do a quick Christmas rush one.
Ooh, I like that. Do we need to provide lines for that, or are you just doing just the post?
I'm doing it as just a regular little story post, just a little one.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's gonna be cool. You gotta let me know when that's out so I can retweet it for you.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in with this broadcast day with Phrasing with Jay. That was Libby from A Blessing But Cursed. And I hope you all have a nice evening. Bye now.